Hey guys, this is Greg Beast here in the Beast Lab. So we're going to start our two-part review here of the long-anticipated Duel 2, which comes out officially on October 18th. And as usual, the first part will be a spec review where I'll break it down just on looks and what we're thinking that they're going for over at STX. And then I'll do the second part review after being hands-on with it for a while on the performance review. So this is the spec review. Here it is. The STX Duel 2. This is a black version. As far as I understand, it comes in white and black. It looks very similar to the OG. Speaking of which, let's compare it to an OG. This is one that's a little beat up, used it a little bit. But when you look at it, the first thing that sticks out is the face is the same, but they listened to the players. So you can tell the scoop was always, in my opinion, the biggest issue with this OG. As far as that, they just filled this all in. So they call this a speed scoop. So the difference is, instead of it being so thin and wiry, it's a little bit stiffer. It's stronger here with a very slick, polished surface, and it's streamlined for the strings at the top. Filled in here, much better scoop. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a big improvement that people are going to like. Then when you look at it from the front, the sidewalls on the front bar are exactly the same. The struts are exactly the same. So the trestling that they have for the head is all going to act pretty similar when you look at it. However, this back portion is definitely thicker and stronger and more filled in. So you're going to have the same shape, but the performance is going to be better as far as how it holds up on 50/50s. So this head was designed to have a shorter throat, which has been copied by a lot of different people for good reason, because it's a great way to keep the security of the head on the shaft. However, by the insertable throat, it made for a shorter grip, which meant that you got more leverage closer to the ball when you actually punch down. However, what's interesting is, even though it's a shorter throat, just like the other one, the front is cut up. So as you can tell right here, this front portion is a little bit shorter because it kind of slopes up. The back, though, cuts down, so your glove still has to be in the exact same spot. I'm not sure what they were going for with that, but they did add side screws. So if you noticed on the Command X head by Under Armour, they went with no insertable throat, but they went with 4 screws. They wanted to double down, so you can still put 4 screws in this head, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it has an insertable throat, just to make sure this baby doesn't go anywhere. A lot of people noticed, including myself on the first one, especially if you didn't use the shaft that came with the head, is you had a lot of wiggle. And I think what they're going for is to get rid of that with all these different screws. So the insertable throat is still the same, however, you have more screwing options. Talking about options, I'm very interested to see how this performs from a sidewall cracking standpoint. These were more rectangular and thinner holes for the stringers. These are all ovals and then circles. So obviously R&D went through and decided that this was the better way to go. Whether it was to cut out weight or to make it a better performing head, we'll see. But as we said, from the top to the bottom, they definitely listened to the reviews. A better scoop, which will make it a lot better for guys on the speed as far as getting out of there on your scoop for GBs. And then the thicker back part of the sidewall is going to help you on 50/50s. So we'll see. One of the things guys loved, and one thing I always do when I would get a Duel, is I would get it and then pull it here to get that little kink so that you can kind of push it into a 50/50 and it would kind of cut underneath. So I'll probably be doing the same exact thing with this, pulling it here to get that little kink right there. But we'll see how this thing performs. I'm very interested. This is a very highly anticipated head. A lot of people were waiting for a Duel 2 with an improved scoop. So I'm very excited to get my hands on this. I'm going to spend 2 weeks straight taking reps with it every single day. I'm also going to get the input of the Savage Squad with my FOA guys. I'm going to give them a couple of these to test out and see what their thought process is during our draw days. So it's going to be very interesting. But stay tuned for part 2 of the performance review of the Duel 2.